What's up? I'm Hugz. That's Sam. Welcome to Hugz and Sam. Today we're getting into Hunter episode 80. Last we left off, there was a cute little koala bear, or like a little pink bear.
It was like a Care Bear.
He looked like that bear from the Downy commercials or whatever. Is it Downy?
Or the bear from Toy Story.
Snuggle or something? Is it Snuggle?
Yeah.
What is it?
Cuddles.
Cuddles?
Snuggles.
Snuggles? The one for fabric softener, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't use it, but like there's a bear, and it made me think of that bear except pink.
Yeah.
And a badass, because he straight shot up.
Shot lasers out of his forehead.
Well, he like shot
spit.
up. He shot up everybody that was like the guards to the drug kingpin guy, and that's where we left off with that. Gon and his crew are out there dealing with situations. Pakal and Ponzu are out there now dealing with situations. But the biggest thing to me right now, what's going on, is how much the Chimera ants are taking on like humanistic traits. Because looking at, and I don't remember the little pink dude's name, or if we got his name or whatever it was, just the fact they have names now in general is interesting. But how they're becoming more human. He was wearing like a suit, looked like John Wick.
Yeah.
Rolling through, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. But let's go ahead, jump into it, see what's going on. Hey guys, a lot of these anime reactions have been getting blocked, so make sure to go down to the description for a reaction link, or you can watch a full version over on Patreon. Does eating the creatures, or eating people, so if the queen eats Pakal, will the next one have Nen? Or potentially even the one that ate Ponzu, will it have Nen now? The one that ate Ponzu, I feel less than likely. Like, it's not something you just pass on, but because the queen like takes in the genes, and whatever she creates essentially is a recreation of that creature.
Yeah.
They had the ability to use Nen, then the new
Doesn't
creature should be
everyone
able to.
have the ability to use Nen? They just have to learn how to use it?
I don't think, I mean, I wouldn't imagine everyone can, because it's only like hunters that really learn how to do it. Like, so I think it's more of a like, you have to be a very special individual to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Type of thing. That's the way I look at it. Because even to just pass the hunter exam, the first part, you have to be like a very, elite few that can even become a hunter,
Like you have
let
to be,
alone
like, born for it, pretty much.
Exactly. Let alone the people who are born hunters that can also learn to harness and use Nen.
Yeah. See, I feel like personally, like,
But like Zushi,
that like the actual gene itself isn't what's going to help them use Nen. I think that it's going to be them actually seeing it in the world. They're going to bring back, like, they have like the information, like those bodies or whatever, like they have that information of like, how was he killed without a bullet? It wasn't a bullet wound, it was something else.
Well, and the spider grandpa or whatever that caught it, he's like, oh, they couldn't see these? Like,
yeah, and he like felt like the aura, because he was like, oh, the same thing that is controlling your weapon is what is you're using to protect yourself, basically.
Well, and it was almost like he had Kyo. It was almost like he could see the life force around him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know if it was like something he could see or just something that he could like sense, because
like,
you also have to imagine like insects and animals and stuff, like they have like different senses, like in heightened senses compared to like humans. So
I don't know what all senses spiders have, but
yeah, I don't either.
Spider sense.
But yeah.
Spidey sense.
So I don't know, like. But I just feel like everybody can use Nen, but it's just kind of like you have to, like, some easier than others, but everyone actually has like the ability in their DNA.
I don't know. It's never really been said specifically, has it? That it's something that everyone can do? I mean, everyone has life force.
Yeah. Also, the whole, like, Reyna being mentioned and everything, like, I said from the very beginning that there's going to be something about those kids that are, like, that's passed down to him, because you can just tell, like, he's kind of like a main character whenever it comes to the Chimera ants. Like, he's like really focused on, and they really focused on those kids and in that story with them and their mom.
But that should be a mixture of both kids.
Yeah, but I don't think it is. I think it's like,
so what happened to Reyna then? Like, she just,
I think like the boys, like, DNA or whatever
was more dominant.
Yeah. I don't really know.
Do you think,
exactly,
like, when it comes to past DNAs, you would think like memories?
Yeah.
If it passed down memories, it would have hers.
I don't know exactly how that works. Like if like the chimera ant like ate like 10 people in like a week, did she just lay that one egg, which was all 10 of those things, or does she lay like 10 at a time?
There was
and
more
it could
that
be
came
like
with him.
Exactly.
But they weren't as advanced. He
so
was the
like,
advanced
could
one
another one have Raina's DNA like that we haven't seen yet, or?
Well, back then when she was having them, he was the like blueprint for what all these other ones would then become.
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh, you speak."
Exactly. So he would be a mixture of both.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just think like that maybe the boys was like more dominant because that was like the whole thing was like he promised his mom and sister that he would protect Raina, you know?
I don't know. It's definitely really interesting how that works, but none of the other people have exhibited the same type of thing, at least yet. Because all of these new, more advanced creatures were also based off of humans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they, and okay, so here's, it's not necessarily, I was going to say, here's my problem with this. It's not necessarily a problem. He was based off a child.
Yeah.
Okay. So in what way does that make that different?
Yeah.
Because the rest of them are seemingly all based off of adults.
Yeah, and he was like one of the first. The others have more adult in them.
Well, like more human traits.
Yeah, like it evolves as they go along. And if he was the first, he's like freaking like first generation. Whereas whereas there's been so many like updated versions. Yeah, and it's like
a lot of expansions.
Like, why is he still like the leader kind of thing?
Well, they all have. Weird. There's like a lot of the squadron leaders, but like he just seems very intelligent.
Yeah.
For being based off of a child versus an adult.
That is something that I'm very like hung up on. Like he still seems to be very like well-rounded as like a
creature.
A creature, yeah. Whenever he was like literally version 1 of a human, like
that's what my curiosity over him having memories versus an adult, like why is that different? Because we don't really see any of that in the newer versions. Also, I'm very interested to see what was it the King's Guard or something? The 3 giant eggs that she had that were going to be like the royal guardians or whatever. Because I feel like they're going to be even more advanced than what we've seen so far. And then when we finally get the freaking... So she was going to give birth to a king. Is it going to be based off of... I want to say Gyro, but it's... What is it? Gyro?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because, like, we probably... Because we heard like that whole like story or whatever, and then they talked about chimera ants mixing with NGL and all that, how it's like super bad and everything. That would be like the ultimate like reason for us having that whole background story and everything would be for Gyro, or is that how you say it?
Gyro,
I want to say Euro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to say Euro.
Gyro.
I like Euros.
Like being the king would be like perfect. Like I think that
that would
be
fits with
like,
the story of him wanting. That's why he was making the drugs, was because
right.
he wanted everyone to die. Essentially, hated humanity.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that same thing. Because you were like, did he really get eaten? Because why would we need to know that whole story? But that would answer that question, like why we needed to know that whole background story.
The only thing I didn't like is that we left off with them like facing down with him, and then he's just gone.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see what happened. And like I said, I hope we get that part filled in, later.
Yeah.
Or at some point, or at least a reason why we didn't get to see it.
Yeah. I mean, we do know that he did, because, like, there's a lot of blood up in that chair.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we just kind of missed out. We got blue balled on it.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like, I wanted to see him, like, go down.
Or at least see if he could fight, or see like anything about him other than he was abused as a kid. Like, I want to see how.
Which was really sad, by the way. Like that story was sad.
It was reminding me of, holy crap, what's his name? He's like the coolest dude in the whole damn show. The dude who runs the spiders, the Phantom Troop.
Oh, Crollo?
Crollo, yeah. He was reminding me of Crollo's backstory because of that like trash city or whatever that Crollo was born in, and they kind of showed like his childhood and how like it was like another sad kind of origin story.
Yeah.
And at first I kind of had a little bit of a vibe between the two of them.
The animation of that too kind of reminded me a little of Mob Psycho. I know that sounds like weird and stuff. But
I like the pinstripe. And
yeah, and like the eyes, like the way that they like
and
look
the
like.
teeth were crazy too.
Yeah, it just
was, like,
it reminded
freaking out.
me of Mob Psycho, like in kind of like that.
The gritty style.
Yeah, yeah.
I get what you're saying.
I mean, it could remind you of a lot of other kind of anime, but we haven't really watched a lot of anime, so basically anything that's on our channel is all we've seen. Well, I mean, not me, but
I've seen a couple episodes
mainly.
of some other stuff like Lupin and Trigun.
I've watched like High School DxD, basically stuff that you can't
Never
react
seen
to because it's got tits. I probably shouldn't have said tits on my YouTube channel.
Hello, yellow demonetization. Buddy.
I did not just say that.
But anyway, good episode. Holy crap, we didn't even talk about this yet. Freaking Ponzi getting eaten. The creature, like, yeah, it's sad. Like Paco got taken, whatever. That was really sad. Dude got his head chopped off. Dude got his head eaten off. Those
that was crazy.
But the fact that she was like running to escape, and I was like, oh man, she's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was gonna get caught and taken back.
Yeah.
Not freaking just headshot, like 360 no scope.
And then I saw like the trickles of blood, and I was like, oh,
Well, and then the fact that he drug her away and ate her after shooting her and laughing like a crazy person.
That laugh, oh my gosh, that laugh is creepy as hell.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that laugh is scary.
It is really creepy, especially when you saw like the pile of bodies before.
Yeah.
I feel like I should edit in, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
You okay? But anyway, that Ponzi part was really sad. But let us know what you thought in the comment section down below. Like it if you did, sub if you don't already. Shout out to our patrons, watching the full and early reactions up on Patreon. Hopefully Sam doesn't throw up on camera.
I need to throw up.
We'll be back with more videos soon. We love you guys. Bye.